In today's video, I'm going to talk about the correct use of these chemicals and the types of surfaces that you can use them on. You'll recognise the one on the right. Obviously, it's just a generic, sort of bleach you can get from a supermarket. The one on the left is the antibacterial disinfectant that we regularly use in every property. This is something you would get from a cleaning supply shop, not from a supermarket. So the first one I'll look at is the bleach. Most people know what bleach is. So the first thing I want to show you, I'll just zoom in there we go, is the different ratios for different surfaces. So depending on the type of surface that you've got, you would either use it undiluted or in a diluted state. So 1 to 8 or 1 to 40. Now you see the bench tops, fridge and stove, it says 1 to 8. So that's the dilution that I want to talk about today for sanitising surfaces. So here we have a typical kitchen bench that you find in a commercial kitchen. It's stainless steel, it's hard, it's flat, it's what's called a hard surface. You could literally just pour the bleach on here and it would sanitise the surface, but you wouldn't do that for a few reasons. First one, it's overkill. You're just putting a toxic chemical and you're splashing it all over the place. It's toxic. You'll poison yourself. It's not necessary. If you dilute it correctly and apply it properly using a damp cloth and you apply it onto the surface and you let it sit there for a minimum of 10 minutes, it's going to kill most bugs, most viruses, most germs. You're going to sanitize this surface and you're going to be able to clean it off, because you can't leave, obviously, something that's toxic like bleach is on a surface, especially if it's a food preparation surface. So you want to be able to clean it off at some point. So that's an important element of using anything in terms of disinfection, but especially when it comes to something that's toxic such as bleach. We would prefer to use this on most surfaces for a few different reasons. So first we'll zoom in and have a look at the ratio. So you can see there the commercial grade disinfectant, it says 1 to 20 with water. And that's pretty much what we would use to disinfect surfaces like this and other hard surfaces. Again, now the reason we would prefer this over bleach is primarily, if you read this part here, sorry about the jumpiness, if we can, there we go, non-hazardous ingredients to 100%. So what it means is, while it's got an ammonium compound in there, like that, it's non-toxic, essentially, because it's such a small amount, especially once you've diluted it. So 1 to 40, 1 to 20, or this is all you need. Again, you can apply it to the surface. The difference is here, you wouldn't necessarily need to remove it from the surface to then use it for whatever purpose you'd like to use it for. Now, along with these, you've got to understand that it's not a matter of splashing chemicals onto surfaces and hoping for the best. You've got to know what they are, you've got to know what they do, you've got to know what effects they can have on people, whether they're toxic or non-toxic. You have to know the dilutions. More importantly, you have to know how to actually do that. So it's not a matter of just splashing a bit of this chemical into a bottle and then putting water in it and hoping it's a 1 to 20. It might not be enough. Maybe you put too little of this in, too much water, so it's over diluted, or maybe it's too strong and wasting chemical. Now, the other thing I want to talk about very quickly is, once you have done that, you can see here's a spray bottle we use. What the most health regulations suggest is to make sure this is not on a spray. So if you look at that, that's a misting spray. Now, it covers the area better, but the problem with that is it's actually an irritant. So for the cleaner who's using it, if it's in that sort of aerosolized form, they tend to get it in their eyes and breathe it. And it's just, while it's non-toxic, it still will irritate sensitive parts of your body. So the way to do it is to, there we go, change that, is to actually literally have it like a spray. So you can spray it directly to the surface like I just did, which probably is not the best way to do it. Or if you had a good quality microfiber that's been cleaned, disinfected and sanitized correctly before use, you would spray that, hold that into your hand and spray directly onto the cloth and then apply it to the surface. That would actually be the best way to apply the surface. Look, I'm going to be releasing a lot more tips over the coming weeks to help you guys out. If you would like any help, hints or tips, reach out to us. I'd be more than happy to tell you what I know. It's important during this time that we all do what we can to sanitize and clean our houses and our businesses. So please don't hesitate. Give us a message, give us a phone call, send us an email. I'd be more than happy to tell you what I suggest for various circumstances to help sanitize your house. I'm Scott from Cleaning Excellence, and we floss toilets.